Ladies and gentlemen, really nice to be here with you. We have the pleasure to collaborate with you at Gajah Mada University, but also now in Gunung Kidul district. The project is called CC-MAP in short, and that stands for Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation Policies. And we focus on work in the health sector. At our university, we have a group of scientists that has been working for years now on climate change and global health. Next slide, please. And 1 year ago, me and Joachim Rocklöv, who is the theme leader of this research group, were invited to come here when the medical faculty had a day on climate change. And, okay, thank you. Had a day on climate change and mitigation adaptation. And I had a presentation that also focused really on adaptation and the health sector as a part. When inviting us, Professor Laxon and Professor Hari explained that that was because they wanted to start a long-term collaboration with us at Umeå University. The two universities have had a long-standing collaboration. Since the mid-90s, there has been work ongoing, but on different subjects. And now climate change and human health was lifted as a new area where they wanted us to collaborate. And we, of course, also having such good experiences from our university on collaboration with Gajah Mada University, thought that was an interesting and good suggestion. The day after we had presentations on this conference, SIDA, who is a Swedish authority, had a call out on collaboration, on climate change, and health issues, actually. And Indonesia was one of the countries that was pointed out as a partner. So then we applied and was successful, and that forms the basis for our collaboration now. So that gives us a possibility to start and build a foundation. And we have the aim of making this long-term. And as Professor Hari also pointed out, it's mutual. You said you learn, but we also learn. So it's really a mutual beneficial project, and I think that's very important. So 1 year ago, it all started. And this project is a so-called, no, it doesn't work. Thanks. It's a so-called partner-driven cooperation. And SIDA states that it is to promote the use of research results in fulfillment of partner countries' development strategies, leading to policy advice, but also integrating advocacy and also innovation. And I mentioned that Joachim was one person in our core group. I'm the PI, and I work as a research to policy leader at Umeå University on the Center for Global Health Research. And when it comes to innovation, I would like to mention maybe Åsa, because Åsa is the group's e-health expert on the Swedish side. That is member of the core group. And of course there is an aspect of innovation possibilities also integrating e-health. And I would like just to take also the opportunity to mention some of the other Swedish participants. Professor Ronny Lundström works at Umeå University, and he's a professor at but he also has national mandates. And tomorrow you will give a presentation where you will present yourself as well as the work you have. Talking about policy, we also have Birgitta Nordvall, who is the group leader of the Christian Democrat Party in the County Council of Västerbotten. And she is also a member of the National E-Delegation in Sweden, And also with the background as a district nurse, of course, that is important also when it comes to professional background. And Camilla Andersson, talking about policy, it's always also important with media. And Camilla is a journalist, experienced and well-reputed in Sweden, with writing for journals both on the national level, but also locally, of course, different types of journals. And Camilla is with us as with a scholarship from one of the biggest research foundations in Sweden. So she's writing on that mandate. SIDA also states that collaboration with key actors in the partner countries are important. And then they mention, of course, universities or research councils, government and public officials. They also mention civil society and entrepreneurs. The overall aim of CCMAP is to provide a more solid base for policy decisions on climate change mitigation and adaptation with the health sector in Indonesia and Sweden in focus, with a special interest on e-health, for e-health. We started last summer, and in September, Professor Hari and Laxona and Dr. Lutfan Lasardi visited Sweden to make the detailed plans with us in the Swedish core group. And we have an organization for this project with me as the PI, but then we have the core group, as I just mentioned. We have national working groups on the two sides with different members, but we also have an international advisor. And the international advisor is Professor Alistair Woodworth, who is one of the he's the coordinating lead author in the next IPCC report. That is for UN, within the UN framework. Okay. I decided not to go into the specific aims, but instead present them in saying what we have done so far since we started our work in September. We have written a scientific article where Åsa was the main author, and it's a peer-reviewed article on e-health and the use of e-health as a tool when it comes to climate change mitigation and adaptation. We have also written reports. A couple of them are not completely finalized, but almost. One is on decision-making structures for the health sector in Sweden, and the Indonesian report is to be finalized. We also have a report on existing policies for climate change mitigation and adaptation in the health sector, and that also includes policies for e-health. Also, we have a report on climate-related vulnerabilities and health risks in Sweden and Indonesia. And those three reports are actually to understand more about each other's systems when it comes to decision-making in the health sector, because it's working quite differently between Sweden and Indonesia, and we need to know more about each other's systems to be able to do good work together. But we also wanted to assess the situation when it comes to climate change vulnerabilities, of course, to be able to make the right choices. And we can, Joachim, you will present more about that later on, but we can certainly say that, as you also mentioned in the welcoming, that there is a need for more research here on the Indonesian side. We have started a carbon cost-benefit analysis of e-health technologies and services, and Åsa is leading that work. We have also started a study on e-health readiness in Sweden and Indonesia, and it's important. We will do a review. It's important also to understand what is the readiness in the two countries to use e-health. We have also made a pilot study on health professionals' perceptions, on the knowledge as well, on climate change and health. And that is also those things are to understand what people are ready to accept, but also a guidance for us to understand better what to do the right things with the right people, and how to communicate these things too. We need to assess the situation. We have also, as a result, formulated a new text in the Västerbotten County Council, the environmental plan. So we actually, for the first time, mention climate change. In Sweden, the county councils are the responsible authorities for providing health services. So, of course, it's very interesting also for us in the project that now the county council actually mentioned climate change and health for the first time.